This is an introduction into your business analysis class. So we're in Blackboard, and when you very first log in, it should pop up to the announcements tab. So that way you'll know what week we're in, and I'll give you a little summary about what's going on this week. So your first week, obviously, I'm kind of telling you how the course is set up, which I will also here show you. And then in there, I'm reminding you that this course comes with instant access to the My Math Lab. You paid for it in your tuition. So you received an email from the Stark State College bookstore the Friday before classes start, and it'll have your access code. So you need to take the time to go back through those emails and find that access code, because that is by far the most important thing to do. All your homework, all your tests are all going to be in My Math Lab. So you want to have access to that as soon as possible. So again, each week you'll have a different weekly announcement, but then you'll want to go over after you read the announcement. Then initially for week 1, go into your Start Here tab and read everything over. Here you'll have your class syllabus files located in this folder. There'll be the master syllabus and the class syllabus. The class syllabus gives you all the details, all your due dates, how your grade is set up. I also have it as a separate tab here as well, because again, grades are probably the thing you're most concerned about. You'll also have your due dates in My Math Lab, but if you like to just have like one sheet that shows you those due dates, again, it'll be in the class syllabus file, so go into that one. But then here, if we open the how the grades are determined, it's going to show you again how they are. You'll have 4 tests. Each test is worth 100 points. You'll have chapter homework. Each chapter homework is worth 12 points. You're going to have 4 quizzes, a 20-point quiz that goes along with each exam. Those quizzes are prerequisites, meaning you have to take those quizzes and get a 60% or better before the exam will open up. And then you're going to have an Excel project that will be due with test 3 that's worth 24 points. So that is going to be how the grades are determined for this class. Then let's go back into that Start Here. And then this shows you what textbook we are currently using. And again, like I say, you're going to have to check your email to get that access code because you've got one. And then this calculator is required for the course. You can either get the hard copy calculator like I show here, or there is one that is on, like it's a phone app. You can buy it, which would be cheaper than the phone, or you can even get a free version. The free version will have ads that pop up. So again, it just depends on how you feel about those ads, if you want to pay to get the version, or if you like to just have a handheld one. You can get them from Amazon, you can get them from our bookstore, but you're definitely going to need this calculator when we start into our test 3 material, so about halfway through the semester. This shows you how to access the ebook. Sometimes it seems like it's a little bit hidden, but you'll go into your My Math Lab course, and then there'll be chapter contents. And then once you open those chapter contents, you can view a table of contents, and it is just like a table of contents in a book, and you'll get right into it. And then here's just some kind of helpful hints for online learning and classes that are taken online. Then if we go into the lessons tab, again, this will pop you into your My Math Lab course, which I will do in a minute. But then you'll see you'll have a file folder for each week. So again, that's why I say read the announcement, because the announcement will tell you what week we're in case you lose track. But then I'll give you a little overview telling you what we're covering this week, what you should do, what's due this week, and what's coming up next week. So you kind of have a good feel of what's going on. And I always recommend don't just jump into the homework. The homework link is right there, but notice before it you have chapter materials. So if you open that up, I have a YouTube video where I talk over the PowerPoint. So here is the PowerPoint in case you like to have that file by itself, but this is a video of me discussing it. So definitely take the time to watch that video. Then I have chapter notes where I will work out, I'll kind of explain the concepts, explain the formulas, work out some of the examples out of the e-text, again, to try to show you how these problems are being solved. And then I will have at least one YouTube video, if not two, of me working out sample problems. So again, and then down here, I pick out just pieces of the chapter and work out those problems also. So like I'll go to the e-text and I took a picture of like, 3 or 4 problems. So you'll see the problem and then you'll see how I solve it. I would recommend looking at all of these before you jump right into the homework, because sometimes I do stuff a little bit different. I like to think it maybe makes it easier than the way the textbook does it. So it's worth taking the time and kind of reviewing over my materials. If we were in a face-to-face class, that's the stuff I would be doing in the classroom. So again, please take that time to look over them. Then you'll get right in, then you can click that link and it's going to pop you right into your homework again once you have your access code and you are set up in MyMathLab. So it's okay, so then there it goes. So then here it shows you, okay, here's your chapter 3. We cover all the sections in the one chapter. So you're going to just, go through one at a time. And notice that you get 3 attempts per question. That doesn't mean you should take, like say you miss it, you get 3 attempts to get it correct and you miss it. You can still at the bottom go down and click like for another question. Like it'll regenerate it for you so that you can kind of keep practicing at that to try to get all the points that you can. Okay, and then if we look again down here at the bottom, you have these different help aids. Help me solve this, view an example, I can't, a guided example, right? So you can use those to assist you as you're working through it. But like I said, I do like it that you would start with mine and then move into the homework, and then you can look at the textbook as well. Okay, so then let's go back and close out of that. But that, whoops, didn't mean to close out quite that far. Okay, so again, back in the lessons tab. So each week is going to be set up like that. So again, I'll tell you what chapter we're covering. You're going to have the chapter materials and then the homework. Then when you get to week 4, that's going to be your first test. So I have a practice quiz. Now the practice quiz enables you to use the help aids. It just gives you one submission because it's not for a grade. But then that way you'll get the feedback to say, okay, what did I miss? What do I need to go back and kind of maybe tweak up my notes or go back through the materials and study those more. Then once you use that practice quiz again to help you determine what you need to refresh on, then sit down and take the test review quiz. So this is worth 20 points. You get 2 attempts on it. And but you have no help aids. It's not timed. You can go in, you could start it and go back in later, but you all those help aids are going to be turned off. So then you want to eventually get a 60% or better to open up the test. If you do not, so say you take that quiz twice and both times you've gotten a 50%, I can reset it so that you can keep taking it. The goal is I want you to keep taking it until you pass it, because if you can't pass the test review quiz, you're not going to pass the test. So if you can start this process early so that you know, hey, I'm good, the test will be due Sunday at midnight, except for during finals week, it'll be Saturday at midnight. So then that's really how the whole course is going to be set up. Each week it's going to be that same thing. Week 4 is a test, week 8's a test, week 12's a test, and then your final exam. Now your final exam is current and comprehensive. 50% current, 50% comprehensive. So comprehensive means I'm going back through all the chapters that you've already been tested on. So again, I just pick out one problem from each of those chapters, but then it just tests your overall knowledge of the course as you're exiting. It is required that you take the final exam, so you can't think, oh, I'm going to take all the tests and do the homework and then just blow that final off. You'll actually fail the course. You don't have to pass the final, but you have to take it. So make sure you kind of, keep that in the back of your mind. So that is kind of how the course is set up, and how you'll. So did I say that the tests are timed? So go back to the test. When you sit down to take test one, you'll have one sitting, so you can't start it and finish it later, and you'll have 75 minutes. So you got to make the most of your time. I'll have, a certain percentage of students that struggle with that. It's timed at a level that you can complete it, and almost all students can, but you will not have the time to like look up your answers for every question or even go back to your notes for every question. So it's timed so that we know that you really truly know the material that you're being tested on without having to look it all up. So that's kind of the goal. Okay, so that is the class. You to contact me, email is the best way. You can also use the course messages here in Blackboard, but emailing me directly is also fine with any questions that you have. All right, good luck.